Kristyn Burtt for LifeScript.com. Melanoma is the most dangerous form of skin cancer, and it can affect anyone at any age. That's exactly what Dancing with the Stars pro Witney Carson discovered when a mole on her foot turned into something more serious. I sat down recently with Witney at the rehearsal studio to talk about her melanoma diagnosis and how it affected her career.
Right after So You Can Dance, I went and got checked back home because my dad, he actually had skin cancer. And it was actually super severe. It spread to his lungs, actually. So they were really adamant about us kids going to get checked. So we actually got checked that winter after So You Can Dance. And, I went into the dermatologist and she checked my whole body, and then she noticed this mole on my foot. So she actually noticed it. I had no idea. I wouldn't have known, if this wouldn't have happened to me. But anyway, so she saw like this little strawberry colored mole. Like it looked normal, but it just was a different color. And so she's like, this looks questionable. She got a sample of it. And then the tests came back positive for melanoma. And at that point, Dancing with the Stars had just called me as a professional on Dancing with the Stars. So that was Cody's season. So I did.
So you had already done troupe at that point?
So I had already done troupe at that point, yep. So I did troupe, and then I had the call that I was going to be a professional. And then I got the call that I also had skin cancer. So I'm like, what in the world do I do? Like, I have this amazing opportunity, this is what I've been wanting for a very long time, but then I have this other thing that's holding me back. And so, I remember the meeting with the doctor, and it was like, you have to do the surgery. If you don't, in 6 months, because of how far it had spread, then you will have to go through chemo. And I was like, okay. At that moment I had to reflect back and be like, my health is most important, so I've got to get that done first, but is there a way to do both? We sat down for a long time and kind of figured out a way where I could still have the surgery and get my health back and also be able to do the show. So he was able to kind of configure, instead of taking a skin graft from my calf, they just stretched the skin over, if that makes sense. Like, I wish I had a diagram to kind of show you, because they have to take out 1 inch in diameter around the mole. Mm-hmm. So they were gonna have to take out skin from my calf. And with that, it's a lot more recovery time. So he was able to actually stretch the skin over and just sew it up. And so that way it would be less recovery time for me.
And they removed the lymph nodes as well from your hip?
And they removed the lymph nodes as well. Mm-hmm. Yep, so there was 2 surgeries in one. So that happened, and then I think I recovered for probably, I think it was 4 weeks. 4 weeks of recovery time. I couldn't train, I couldn't walk, I was on crutches. So I couldn't do any physical exercise at all, so I just had to sit in my room. And I'm like, I have to train, I have to train myself for, the show, like, I've got to be ready. And so I think that was the hardest part, was just not being able to use my body, and it just was so depressing. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't come out with this until after Alfonso's season. So people would see my scar and they'd ask about it, and I would just say that I got foot surgery, But then after a while, it was like, I really want people to know that, like, skin cancer is the fastest spreading cancer in the United States. Like, any skin type can get it. Mm-hmm. But we are definitely more prone to it because we're fair. So, stay out of UV tanning beds. I know I did that a lot, and that's probably another reason why I got it, is because I would go into the tanning beds all the time, because as dancers, you want to be tan. Mm-hmm. So after that whole experience happened, just spray tan all the way.
There's great options for spray tans now, too.
There are. Celsius, Dancing with the Stars spray tan. But yeah, so just always sunscreen all the time. I'm always like anal about putting sunscreen on all over my body anytime I go out in the sun. I even wear hats when I go to the beach, like, just sunscreen all the time, because whether you're 20 or 50, you can get it, and I'm living proof of that. You don't have to be old to get this.